It's really a lot of fake news.
Чесно, український тільки головне.
Minister, the BBC?
Are they going to get past you, or are they going to get past you and these men?
Думаю, ні.
How soon do you think it could be before there is real fighting here?
I just It's awful they couldn't come with you. What you read about what's happening on the ground.
Where were you at the exact time of the attack?
If that is what you think of him, how do you sit across the table to try to stop the war?
And we're live in 5, 4, 3.
Growing up in the public eye is a very bruising experience, and it's really hard to develop and change.
The goal of feminism is to make itself redundant. We want to get to a world where we no longer need feminism.
Is that what a woman has to do in the world, is lose weight to get attention? For me, it was so much bigger. It was about just being the healthiest version of me, so it wasn't about size or a number or whatever.
Girls today, we encourage so much diversity, but women have always been diverse. It just hasn't been acknowledged and it hasn't been accepted.
Women find their strength, their superpower together. And that's why I think women are leading the climate movement against the climate crisis. And I just want to acknowledge that and applaud it.
Join us in celebrating 10 years of 100 Women on BBC World News.
Now on BBC World News, the latest business news from across the globe. World Business Report.
In the dock, 2 American tech giants face the Supreme Court this week in landmark cases that could reshape the future of the internet. And pedalling in the right direction, we'll tell you why biking is proving to be a big money spinner for the Australian economy. Hello, and a very warm welcome. You're the World Business Report with me, Sally Bundock. And we start in the US, where America's Supreme Court is set to hear 2 cases back to back that could reshape the internet. The first is Gonzalez versus Google, and the second case, which is being heard on Wednesday, is Twitter versus Taamneh. Now, both deal with whether tech platforms should have legal immunity for what their users choose to post. For more, here's our North America business correspondent, Michelle Fleury.
Should tech companies be held liable for harmful content promoted by their algorithms? That's the question being put before America's top court. 8 years ago, Noemi Gonzalez, a 23-year-old American exchange student, was killed at a restaurant in Paris by ISIS gunmen. The family, in seeking justice for her death, is targeting Google's video platform YouTube, alleging that by distributing terrorist training videos on its site, the tech giant acted as a recruiting platform for ISIS in violation of US laws about helping terrorists. Now, at the centre of this landmark case is a federal law forged in the earliest days of today's tech giants, Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act, which essentially stops companies like Google and Twitter from being liable for things that users post on its site. It gives the companies platform rather than publisher status. During Tuesday's session, Google lawyer Lisa Blatt argued that the shield provided by Section 230 was crucial to tech companies' ability to provide useful and safe content to its users, while the Gonzalez family lawyer Eric Schnapper urged the court to narrow those protections. This is the US Supreme Court's first review of the law. After hearing the Google case, it will hear another involving social media company Twitter. Section 230 has emerged as a political lightning rod because of its ability to change the future of online speech and content moderation, not to mention the potential implications for the business models of these internet giants. Both Congress and the White House are keen to revamp it, but have yet to agree on what the problem is and what any cure might look like.
Michelle Fleury there. Well, other business stories. Microsoft has defended its proposal to buy game maker Activision Blizzard at an EU competitions hearing. The company, which makes Xbox game consoles, argues the $68 billion deal will give gamers more choice. Sony, which owns PlayStation, says the merger will give Microsoft too much control over the world's most popular games. The Mormon Church and the investment firm Ensign Peak Advisors will pay out $5 million over claims they hid a huge cachet of shares. The US Securities and Exchange Commission found both had used shell companies to hide a $32 billion stock portfolio. However, neither has admitted to any wrongdoing. Seattle's become the first US city to ban discrimination based on caste after a vote by the city council. Advocates of the ban say it's needed to prevent caste bias from becoming more prevalent in the US, especially in the workplace. The caste system in India dates back over 3,000 years and divides Hindu society into rigid hierarchical groups. The world's largest coffee chain, Starbucks, says it's launching a line of olive oil-infused drinks in Italy. Starbucks is among the major US businesses that have faced obstacles as they try to expand into Italian food and drinks market. Italy's coffee scene is famous for its independent and often family-run cafes, and Starbucks currently has around 20 stores in the country. Now, mountain biking is helping to revive communities in Australia that have been beset by years of bushfires, floods and depopulation. It's estimated riders pump $430 million into the national economy every year, supporting an industry that employs thousands of people. From Nowra in New South Wales, here's Phil Mercer.
Carving out an economy all of its own, mountain biking in Australia is surging in popularity. For the fast and the furious, nothing beats hurtling along a trail that lives up to its name.
Hot as hell. It's one of the ones where you can go really fast and you're just flying around berms. And because I know these courses really well, I can really push myself to go as fast as I can.
Bikes are helping to revive regional towns in Australia. Carefully crafted trails in forests near Nowra, south of Sydney, are part of a growing national network.
Mountain biking really could be described as an industry in itself now, and there's many examples around Australia where that's happened for regional communities. Those communities like Nowra have fantastic trails. People have flocked there and the whole town has benefited.
Adventure and adrenaline are the key ingredients of mountain biking. Australia has never had as many clubs, trails or riders. For some, it is an extreme sport. They have the scars and the broken bones to show for it. But to succeed, a tourist destination needs to cater for various ages and abilities.
If I can't get out on my bike, I'm not a very happy person. When you're on a nice single track carving through the forest, like it's got a lot of links to surfing or snowboarding. Just that feeling of just movement, just you get in a good rhythm.
In Tasmania, the sport has reinvigorated the former mining town of Derby. It has some of the best rides in the world and is a template for other communities emerging from COVID and successive natural disasters.
People are super keen now because they haven't been able to ride because of the fires, and then the floods, so it's really ramping up now. Yeah, as long as another recession doesn't come along or something like that, people just love it. So I don't think it's going to go away in a hurry. It's here to stay.
Mountain biking is a multi-million-dollar business in Australia. For many, the fun and the fear are addictive. Phil Mercer, BBC News, Nowra.
Well, let's now look at financial markets. US stocks recorded their worst day in 2 months on Tuesday as the fear factors returned about what the Fed will decide to do next. Federal Reserve minutes from their last meeting are released later today. So in Asia, they also saw declines right across the board and the price of oil is lower. And if we quickly show the next board, this is how the European day will begin. That's how it closed on Tuesday. So that's World Business Report. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.